Good morning, everybody. Let's go over last week's second week of spending and this week's budget. So I am a weekly paycheck budgeter. I get paid full-time job every week, usually on Wednesdays. And so my spending days are Wednesday to Tuesday. So my rollover last week was $111.90. I had gas for $40, which is usually what I do on a weekly basis. It certainly doesn't fill the tank. My full-time job was $578.60 plus $250 that I automatically deposit into a separate account for credit card payments. My buffer savings is $25. I had a fixed $13.80 for Adobe. I had to pick up a prescription for $15.27. Had to get some oil for my car for $13.27. We did do Hungryroot, which was $130.86. House cleaner was $125. On a good month, we do that every 2 weeks, or sometimes just once a month. These three, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I have a transfer savings into the mortgage savings account for $100 a week. That used to be $50. I just upped it in, I think, end of June. Then $40 goes into Ally, and then $10 goes into another account for specifically for our any yard landscaping. We're doing a patio this year, anything that has to be done. We had sushi last Wednesday for $57.68. I took out $100 toward sinking funds, and then I paid for dine out again for a friend that was helping with the patio. It was a total of $63, but I had $32 in PayPal, so only $30.47 came out of my account. So that was it that was spent in that account, and then the balance rollover goes into today, which is $89.15. So then this is my plan for this week's paycheck. So it's July 15th, so my rollover is $89.15. My paycheck was $672.75 plus the $250 again. And this a little extra because I paid for postage. So my buffer is, I'm going to put 50 in my buffer. Again, the 150 is automatic savings that takes place automatically from my check. I owe $80 to someone for childcare, so I put that here. So my total fixed expenses would be $280. So from the $761 leaves $481.90. So $40 in my gas for car. I have a rollover of $9 in my grocery cash envelope, so I'm adding an additional $40. Dino, I'm just going to budget $60. That will probably be a little bit more, but I'm going to budget $60 and try to stick to that. Household, I'm budgeting $25, although I don't think we need anything, but easier said than done. So this is a total of $165, which leaves a rollover of $360.90. Coming up here, our savings goals or sinking funds. I'm doing the Village Hop as I talk about, so I'm going to get $10 in ones. I'm going to put $25 in Gracie's birthday, which is coming up in August. $40 into the water bill. Child care envelope, I'm going to put $40. Word is a savings challenge that I do. I'm going to put $15, and then I'm not going to put anything in Gracie's spending envelope because she does have money in there. So this total is $130, which leaves $186.90. So let's try to not spend more than the 86, and then we'll be able to roll over the 100. So in that other account, which I use just for debt, so I have a rollover of $170.82. The $250 will be deposited, and then I'm paying Amazon a minimum payment, my husband's Capital One a minimum payment, and then American Express a minimum payment, because right now I'm working on PayPal credit card to reduce that debt and get that paid off completely. Then I'll hit probably Amazon. So that's it. So the paycheck budget tracker is here, and then as you know, if you've been with me, I create an expense tracker and put it right besides that paycheck budget tracker just to easily write down my expenses for the week and use the highlighting method to categorize what I'm spending. So that's it for July 15th. We are getting paid today from my husband's paycheck, which will just pay the mortgage and the fixed bills. That goes into a separate account. So if you don't see, how are you paying other bills? Okay, so he gets $1,900 every 2 weeks from his business. He's self-employed, and we pay the mortgage out of that account. Solar comes out on the 23rd for $220, and then also I just paid the car insurance for $167. So that's it for the week. Simple. Keep your budget as simple as you can. Have a plan in place to track it and to use your paycheck budget or whatever form notebook you use to carry over the money you're carrying over plus your paychecks. That way it's just easier, and it's a simple process, and it becomes automatic. I do this every week, usually Wednesday mornings. It just becomes automatic. Thanks for being here. Bye.